Partners of sleep talkers or sleepwalkers, what gems have you to share? One night, my boyfriend woke me up in the middle of the night, tapping me on my shoulder. He put his finger on his mouth, whispered shush to me, then pointed at the door and told me I can hear something, don't move. Predictably, I nearly shit my pants. All the worst possible scenarios crossed my mind, and the moment of silence after he shushed me felt like hours. Then, he started waving his hands and talking about Tetris, the twirlies, and making sure we don't align. And that's how I learnt my boyfriend talks in his sleep. The wave of relief that you must have felt after that must have been crazy. Also, I doubt you got back to sleep, lol. I was watching TV once when my sister came out of her room, and shoved her pillow in a kitchen drawer. After that she crossed the living room, opened the front door and said they're almost here. She closed the door, and went back to her room. It was my first experience with sleepwalking, and scared the complete shit out of me. As far as I am aware, that is the only incident she has ever had. My missus called me a wriggly little enzyme while she was sleeping. I've never ever heard her use that word before. My mom sleepwalks sometimes. When she was in the middle of her residency, she came into my room in the middle of the night and sharply asked, "Did you give patient her dose of medication, like I asked you to 15 minutes ago?" I groggily replied, "Who? What?" She just huffed and said, "Well, I guess that answers my question," before turning around and leaving. Without closing the door, of course, she didn't remember a thing about it the next morning. What is it with moms never closing bedroom doors? It transcends age, race, location and all other demographics imaginable. If you're a mom, bedroom doors do not close. It is the way. To the moms reading this, be the change. My aunt likes to tell the story about her and my cousin sharing a hotel room one time. My aunt woke up having to pee, and found my cousin sitting up in bed with her arms folded across her abdomen, kind of rocking back and forth and giggling quietly. When my aunt asked her what she was doing, my cousin said, "I'm holding a baby and it has an adult smile." I found this story deeply unsettling. Get the holy water. I'm a dip out of this thread now. Sigh, my boyfriend either recites postcodes, delivery driver, or calls the dog in his sleep. So either he is mad no one is responding to his postcode nonsense, or I get a flying 30 kilograms dog to my body. I'd like to imagine that he wakes up and calls the dog just to fuck with you. That's brilliant. Fantastic sleep songs with lyrics which are utterly bizarre. My two absolute favorites have been "Oh Whoa Whoa, It's a Corner Cat, Obey My Rules," and "You'll Always Be a Country Cowboy," repeated about 5 times and finished with a "yee-ah." Corner Cat is amazing. That might make it into a song of mine. I wanna be a country cowboy. Apparently, very early in our relationship, my wife said I suddenly sat bolt upright, swept my arm around, knocking everything off the bedside table, screaming, "Evil baby, have to kill it." She always brings it up to new people we meet. My girl woke up one night and said, "Did you find your rocks?" And I asked her what she was talking about and she said, "I don't know, I'm just trying to make conversation," and promptly went back to sleep. She has no recollection of this. Heck yes. Please take a seat. My wife was an avid sleep talker for a long time, and her midnight announcements range from simple single words to elaborate speeches. The ones that really stand out to me are, waking up in the middle of the night to her suddenly sitting violently up in bed, throwing back the covers, and screaming, "Tarantula. That will make you very awake, very quickly." Whispering my name repeatedly, which woke me up so she could share in a hushed, cautious voice, "There is an alligator in here." When I expressed my concern, playing along, she told me, still whispering, that it's okay. It has been here before. But my all-time favorite was when, from her perspective as she later explained, she was dreaming that I was playfully sneaking up on her and she saw me and was calling me on it. From my perspective, My wife sat up in the middle of the night, starting into the darkest corner of the room and said repeatedly in a soft sing-song voice, "I see you ooh ooh." My flipping blood froze. TLDR, my wife is terrifying. Okay, the last one is terrifying. And hilarious. Don't forget hilarious. Ex-roommate talked in his sleep. Once, he cried out, "No Gandalf. Don't tempt me, Frodo." I hope that was a dream about being on a quest with Gandalf doing something heroic and not a nightmare about being Pippin alone with Gandalf. I have had funnier experiences than this one, but cannot remember exactly what was said. Most recently, though, my boyfriend scoots over to me to big spoon/little spoon, and I snuggle in, thinking that's all it was. Then he gets real close to my ear and whispers, "Just so you know, there's something in the closet." Like a cartoon turtle. I did my best not to bust out laughing and just said, "Okay honey." When he woke up, he had no memory of it whatsoever, of course. Were you the slightest bit concerned of the cartoon turtle? I would have checked the closet. I mean, I'd be mortified. Can you really blame him? My wife was mumbling a lot and suddenly shouted "donkey kick" as she kicked me in my shin, so that was fun. My wife was in her finals week, so she woke up in the middle of the night telling me she discovered a way to study while sleeping. So I asked her how, and she closed her eyes and went back to sleep. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.